Good afternoon, guys. So during the summer, we don't really have time to complete the teaching process, I guess, from a standpoint of watching film. This is, something that I like to do because it helps the learning curve. It helps, speed up the learning process and also gives you a visual. The best way to learn is to watch film, especially, it doesn't necessarily have to be watching yourself, but you do have to know what you're looking at. You do have to watch actively. It's not just like watching a game on TV. A lot of people follow the ball. Some people watch the line of scrimmage. Some people watch this, that, or the other thing. It really it comes down to why we rewind and play back plays so many times is obviously you're watching your position and you're kind of critiquing whether or not it's you, whoever is there. Did this person do the right thing? What would I have done if I was there? What could I have done differently? This and that. Whether or not it's you, and also from the standpoint of receivers, in our offense, the reality is you need to understand the big picture because at any time you might be in a certain position to run a certain route. I would love it if everybody knew every single route and every single play. Hi, Bob. The little guy's here. What's up? Watching football? Uh huh. So what I mean by that is based on formation and play, you should be able to run every route from every position, whether it's a slot on either side or whether it's outside on either side, because there are going to be times when we're in spread, there's going to be times when we're in deuce, there's going to be times when we're going to swap the S and the Z, and then there's a lot of things that we can do in terms of window dressing to make things appear different even though they're the same. And also, I'll just throw this out there. I don't know if you kind of looked at our depth at receiver. We already have one guy down for a significant amount of time for an injury. You have the best chance to get on the field if you know multiple positions. In other words, if I'm an X, I should also know Y. Really, the only difference between those two is which side of the formation you're on. And in trips, if you're the X, you're by yourself. But basically, you need to know all the same stuff. Likewise, if you're a Z, you should also know a little bit of X and or Y, because the reality is, again, you can be in any position for any pass play. We should be able to throw a slant to anyone. We should be able to throw a stop to anyone. We should be able to throw a dig to anyone. We should be able to throw a comeback to anyone. You get the idea. You need to have in your toolbox all of the necessary tools. In other words, I should be able to run every single route that we throw, regardless of where we are. So we can take advantage of mismatches, personnel, etc. Okay, so just kind of start with that basic understanding. The other thing, and with regard to playing time, summertime, it's sort of a tryout. I mean, when fall comes, we pretty much have our first and second group 90% decided. So right now, guys are competing for, I don't want to say starting positions, but you're competing for reps really, because who we think is going to be the ones and twos going into fall camp are going to be the guys who see the majority of reps at practice. They're going to be the guys who see the majority of reps in 7-on-7s. So we're all competing and trying to make each other better, ourselves better, and the team better. So that's just kind of my spiel as we start this. What we're going to do is look at 7-on-7 from today. This is a super high, almost blimp view from the drone, but we'll do the best that we can. I love the fact that we can see everybody, but it could be a little bit closer, I guess. So let's kind of take a look at what we have, and we'll diagnose. This is going to be just like we're in the film room, so we're going to probably go through the play a couple times and talk about it. It is going to be relatively lengthy, probably, so if you need to pause after a play and take a break, I totally get that. It's better to have mental freshness than to just kind of sit there and stare at the computer and drool for the duration of this. If you need to take a break after a handful of plays or whatever, please do that. Pause the video and come back when you're ready to absorb. And obviously you can rewind this and play this at your leisure as many times as you need to kind of go over and understand it. So it appears the first play is Seminole and we made a mistake, and that's all right. Mistakes are fine in practice as long as you don't repeat them, as long as you learn from them. So I believe this is supposed to be Seminole right, which means we have to the play call side, Seminole right. So to the call side, we should have, wow, that's a huge arrow. We should have a 10-yard dig coming from the slot. We should have an 8-yard post. This is not going to be drawn to scale, obviously. 8-yard post from the outside guy to the call side. On the backside, we got the drag coming all the way through there. And this should be comeback 12 back to 10. That's what it should be. Running back is going to seal the left side in our protection, and we should be good to go. Obviously, 7-on-7. There's no pass rush, but from a timing standpoint, we need to get the ball out on time. So that everybody understands again, the big picture, because eventually everybody is going to be at this position. Everybody's going to be running the comeback. So the comeback against our defense is the first read, so to speak, because cover 3 says that the flats are vulnerable, particularly to the outside. Deep or shallow intermediate outside is going to be open. So quarterback's thought is, I'm going to throw the comeback based on, wow, that is huge, based on this guy right here, the flat defender. Okay? Now, so the drag route also helps this. So basically, my thought process is, if I'm running the comeback, I'm getting the ball. My thought process is, when I stick my foot in the ground and turn around to come back to 10, the ball should be on its way. I'm catching it. I'm getting a minimum first down. Might be able to shake a tackle and get up the sideline for a big gain. That's my thought process. So I need to win this one-on-one battle with this guy, whether or not he's in man. It really makes no difference to me. Comeback is also a great man beater because you know where you're going. He doesn't. So long and the short of it is, if I'm running the comeback, I'm thinking that I'm getting the ball. All right. So guys on the backside, dig is at 10 yards. You got to kind of, it should be over this guy, over the will. If there's a guy, well, I'm assuming there's an outside linebacker here. I can kind of get rid of some of this and clean up the picture. So we didn't really talk a whole lot about leverage yet, and it's kind of a mistake on our part. But if I know that I have an inside route, I want to do what is called attack leverage, which means my route is not going to be straight up the field. I should actually be attacking the middle, the center of this guy. If I run right at him, right at his nose, he doesn't know if I'm going to break and go outside or if I'm going to go inside. So ideally, what I want to try to do is split these two defenders, and I'm going to accomplish that by attacking leverage. I'm going to run right at this guy's nose and maybe give a jab move away before I come across the middle, all right? Because right now I don't know if he's manned up with me or if he's zoned. It would appear that based on the outside defenders, the corners, that looks like man to me. So, I need to win my matchup against this guy, all right? So this looks like man free, which means that the backers are going to drop. One of them is probably blitzing. The free safety is truly free. He's going to be a center fielder, and then this guy has 1, this guy has 2, this guy has 2, this guy has 1 over here. So this looks like man coverage, which we'll come back to in a second. This is part of the reason why film is so valuable. There's so much teaching that needs to be done and learning that needs to be done that we can't do on the field. We just don't have the time. So really being able to, plus we want to go fast. That's part of it too. We can't stop practice and spend 7 minutes like we are now talking about one play when we're trying to go play after play after play after play. It limits reps. So in order to, again, facilitate the mental process, the learning process, we need to do it this way. So at any rate, I want to attack his leverage, run right at his nose and make him either try to funnel you away from the inside or make him turn his hips and give a little jab move and run my dig across the middle. This guy's got the post. That's going to be tough. But again, you know where you're going. He doesn't. So I would, again, attack leverage. The worst thing that you can probably do in this case, you'll never get the ball, is if you run around this guy and go outside. I need to try to break his leverage, make a vicious move to the outside, and try to cut back underneath him. But in the grand scheme of things, the guy who's running the post, 90% of the time will not get the football. That doesn't mean don't run a full-speed great route. What it means is understand you're going to be doing a lot of work for very little reward right now because you're probably not going to get the ball. But your job if this was a cover 3, which again, right now it isn't, would be to split the safety in the corner. So let's say the corner is back, in this neighborhood. It's going to be kind of tough, but sorry. Let's say the corner is a little bit deeper in his regular position. When I run my post, again, I still want to attack his leverage, and at 8 yards, I want to try to split and get right in between these two guys. I mean, it looks like the hash mark. Ball's never in the middle of the field in a game. So I don't, we run practice plays from the middle of the field, but understand that the ball is rarely going to be in the middle of the field during the game. I need to adjust accordingly. I'm going to split these two defenders, and maybe if the safety reads the quarterback's eyes and goes this way in his drop, maybe we have a chance to hit the home run. Okay, so that would be the only time you get the ball, is if the safety disappears away, You beat your guy, and we got a home run chance. We can take that shot. Uh, Backside number two, drag. We talked a little bit about it. It's hard when there is no defensive line because you are supposed to run through the heels of the D line, working to really 4 yards maximum. And you're not getting to 4 yards until you get to the opposite hash, until you get spit out the other side. Reason for that, why stay so shallow? If these guys are going to collision you, which we want them to, they need to really come up really, really close to get a piece of you. Both of these two guys. This guy's really not worried about you. He's worried about this receiver over here. So these two guys really are the only guys who can collision you right now. They have to take their read step and then drop and then come back up in order to bang you at like 1 or 2 yards. That's difficult to do. So that's part of the reason why we're doing it. That's shallow. Also, if they do come up this far to jam you, that means the dig theoretically should be wide open because you two guys are crossing. There's a high-low. If these two guys are responsible for trying to collision the drag, well then the dig, if it gets through, should be clean by itself. So that's the concept of the route. We got the high-low cross on the inside, and we got the home run if possible, but the first look really is the comeback, 12 back to 10 on the outside. So that's quarterback's thought process. Now, this particular play is man coverage. So my thought process changes a little bit as a quarterback. Comeback is still good, unless this guy's, an all-conference or all-state defensive back, which, I don't think we're going to see too many of those. Or there's a severe mismatch. In other words, like this is not necessarily our best receiver, but this is their best DB, and I don't really like to match up. Then I'm probably not thinking about this. But the fact is, I still have to look over here because looking over here manipulates the defense. If my eyes go this way, the safety has a tendency to go that way, which brings attention to this direction. Maybe we can sneak the post in behind it. And this is where it gets kind of difficult in terms of reading. So receivers, understand you're going to get the ball probably, even if it's man. It's a great man beater because we're where you're going, he doesn't. By the time you get to 10 yards, he's got to think about turning his hips and running because he thinks you're going vertically. And then you stick your foot in the ground at 12 and come back, balls in the air. Man, we just smoked that guy. You can catch it. If it's man to man, that means there's really nobody else over here. So you make a move or break a tackle, we got big yards there. So good. That's still, our thought process doesn't change in man coverage. I'm still thinking come back first. It changes a tiny bit, with regard to everything else. It is really difficult for the dig to get in here against man, assuming they're going to try to wall you off and not let you go inside. Most man coverage is based on the fact that we're going to take inside leverage and not let you inside. We're going to force you to the outside. So if you're Superman or this guy's really not so good, you're better than him, you beat him, attack his leverage, give a stick to the outside, and then come across. Awesome. We can certainly do that. But understand, this most likely is not going to be there. Again, and then with the safety, I don't love this route against man because this guy really has to beat the defender inside. And maybe he does. I'm just saying, and this is all happening in seconds. So first look is always comeback. Second look then, and that's based on, you remember, you're reading the outside linebacker here. Second read is high-low, and it's really based off of what's going on with the linebackers, okay? I mean, you're going to see either this guy's getting collisioned as you scan across, which means that the dig should be open, and you can kind of, in your line of sight, also see the safety. So all that being said, I apologize for the long-winded explanation. Let's see what happens. I believe we get an incorrect route on the outside here, so our quarterback kind of gets stuck. He's waiting. All right, so here's the thing. Quarterback, he ran the wrong route. Get your eyes somewhere else. So now my eyes should be coming inside, looking at my high-low. I really don't see a high right now. He's getting walled off, which means where did the safety go? See, safety's kind of hanging out here. So if we get our head around quick enough to see the safety, and really the funny thing about this is the safety's going this way because this guy runs the wrong route. So somebody made a mistake, which means we can kind of make a play out of this. We win on the outside. Let's back up and kind of see how that happened. Super job, whoever this is out here. It's really hard to see because it's really far away. But, you make your break a little bit shallow. And that's okay, though, because you got inside of him and you're running to the correct location. So this does not have to always be at 8 yards. It basically has to be get to the spot where you're supposed to be as well as you can. And against man, that's pretty doggone good. So whoever that is, nice job. So as you can see, I think we have a shot at the home run here because the safety's kind of out of the picture. If we can fire this thing right in that neighborhood right now, we run to it, we got a good play because safety's going this way, our receiver's going that way. He's got to turn his hips and get back around, and I don't think he can do that in time. So these are just these subtle things that you catch on film that, I mean, obviously after the fact. And then lastly, if none of that is good, the dig kind of breaks open a little bit late. So that's not bad. Good job fighting through here. I'm going to say that's probably Steve. Good job fighting through. So here's my high-low. Right now, the both of these linebackers are pretty concerned with the drag. This guy's kind of in no man's land, and you can see the dig is starting to come in here, and I believe that's what we go to. And that's a really nice job getting the ball in there. Now you can see that the drag was coming through, basically nobody out here. But again, we take a throw and get a completion, we will take that all day. All right, so just kind of understand how the different pieces fit together. If I got my sights off of the dig a little bit too soon and wanted to fire to the drag, there's certainly nothing wrong with that because this guy's catching the ball and there's nobody out here. These two linebackers dealing with the dig, the corner's out of the picture because he's man coverage. And any type of crossing route is phenomenal against man coverage. So I'm just kind of curious. Everybody else appears to be in man. Maybe it's just the corners. I'm not really sure. But because this guy's not covering anybody right now. And this outside linebacker is sort of covering that, but sort of getting beat. So if we threw the drag, we'd be out the door. Good execution, though, except for number one on the left side. He ran the wrong route. Okay, I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like go, maybe. So, capped on cap rules. First of all, there's something called the hard deck. I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, but that's what we call it. So, the cap, we'll call it the cap. The cap is 7. Pre-snap cap is 7. Post-cap is 10. So, let's keep those two things in mind. What this means is if there's any defender over me who is closer than 7 yards, I am right now, pre-snap, I am uncapped, which means I have I'm thinking I'm going to run vertically past this guy. Right now he's sitting at about 5.5 or 6 yards, which means if this is go, I'm thinking I'm going to run past him right now. Same thing over here. I'm thinking I'm going to run past him because he's going to have to backpedal, turn, and run in order to catch up with me by my 10-yard point that I'm going to make my sure decision as to whether I'm going to curl or not. Okay. It changes a little bit on the inside, okay, because of the fact that I've got a single high. The guys who are releasing up the hash marks, what's going to end up happening is you're both reading the safety, okay, and generally speaking, you need to win. We need to be either throwing the home run to the inside because if the safety goes this way, I should be throwing the home run there. If the safety goes this way, I should be throwing the home run there. You're not reading the outside linebacker for capped on capped. He's going to carry you vertically to help the safety, but you're most likely going to be able to beat this guy. So we're really reading the safety in this situation, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Capped on cap rules. We got a lot of veterans, so we can spend a little bit more time teaching that, and perhaps we should. We should theoretically be able to throw go on every pass play and always have a completion because we're reading correctly and making the right throw accordingly. So that's kind of how that looks. With regard to how do I curl, so first of all, whoever this is, you're wrong. You're at the correct distance, but we don't turn outside, we turn inside. This looks good over here. I didn't beat my guy by 10 yards, so I'm capping that at 10. That looks good. You're coming around to curling, expecting the ball. I tell you what, this is a heck of a play because right now, these guys are even, and the safety is starting to come this way, and the ball is about to be let go, it looks like. So the safety takes a very poor angle, so this is a nice job of getting the ball out there and our guy running after it and making a play. Okay, so here's the thing. Of course, coach, we scored a touchdown. Yeah, sometimes that happens because the defense makes a mistake. And here's the mistake. So I actually think that the ball should be going to the opposite hash. And here's why. By the time you throw the ball, he's already kind of looking and is dropping that way. I know we beat the inside guy, which we're supposed to do, but it looks like we're kind of getting ready to beat the inside guy here. So even if you were to turn your shoulders and eyes this way to manipulate the safety a little bit more and then throw back here, I think this is a cleaner throw. So again, I'm not, saying that you made a mistake or anything. And I know you're slowing down because you saw the ball thrown, but it would appear that this is the throw to make because this guy doesn't have safety capping him, so to speak. So this is good over here. Good distance. We turned the wrong way, so let's clean that up. All curls are inside for right now, unless it's go switch, which we'll get to later. But if you're running standard go and I'm curling at 10 yards, it's inside. Nice execution, nice pass and catch. Okay, this looks like cheap. We kind of talked a little bit about it. Let's back this up. So first of all, we changed some stuff, especially if you're a sophomore who is becoming a junior. We are now on the back side. So this is cheap right, which means the right side is the cheap combination. There should be one step, speed out. It's sort of like a slant, really is what it is a slant to the outside. We are not driving upfield and then squaring it out. That is not our speed out. Our speed out is, first of all, your feet are wrong also. You're supposed to have your outside foot up. Step hard with your inside foot and push off of that foot to get out here to the flat. This should be a 10-yard curl, finding the open window. Maybe I got to move a little bit and it's in there. And then on the back side, we have what's called stick stop, which means stick from the inside guy at 5, stop from the outside guy at 5. Notice the spacing here. We told you guys to widen a little bit. Hopefully from this viewpoint, you can see why we do that. Phenomenal spacing. There's really only one guy who can cover this man right now, and that's the outside linebacker. There's really only one guy who can cover that right now, and that's him. So you just keep that in mind. Hard 5 yards like I'm running vertical, stop at 5. Hard 5 yards like I'm running vertical, stop at 5. Quarterback always has the choice to throw back here if he likes a matchup. Right now, I'd say probably not. He's got leverage and is only at 7 yards. He's at like 6, so throwing a 5-yard route is probably not a good idea. I'm going to go to the front side. My read to the front side is the flat defender. I'm going to catch the ball and make my choice immediately. Let's watch what this guy does. He drops, which means the ball really should be out right now. I should be throwing the speed out right now. If he does not scream out to the flat to chase the speed out and he's not in this guy's hip pocket, I should be throwing the speed out right now. So I know it's fast. Ball should be out. Ball should be out. Too long, too long, too long, too long, too long, too long. Why are we hop stepping? Okay. So here's the thing with your feet. This is quick game, which means all I need to do is catch the ball, catch the snap, get my feet set, my shoulders turned, and throw the ball. I don't have to take a drop. I don't have to slide my feet. I don't have to crow hop. I don't have to do anything. I got to catch the ball, turn my shoulders, set my feet, and throw it based on this guy. So again, let's just kind of take it at normal speed. Catch, set my feet, throw. Okay, ball's way too late. Now this guy has a chance to come and make a tackle, and we only get 2 yards. So that's the importance of getting the ball out on time. Hopefully that makes sense. Take a look at the other routes. We're looking pretty good on the backside. That's a good hard 5. That's a good hard 5. Curl looks pretty good. There's really no window there because the outside linebacker dropped first. So right choice, right throw, get it out there sooner. Trips. We might have to skip this play. Oh, no, we're running it. No, we're not. We talked about it. And then we ran it. Okay, what is this? This is go stop, I think. Go stop to the solo. So really good over here. That's a nice job driving off, getting 5. Not sure what this outside linebacker is doing. Kids are yelling at each other. That's awesome. So looks good over here. So let me come back because we really didn't discuss this yet this year. Go landmarks if I am in trips. Let's say this is regular go right. Okay, my landmark is the numbers on the outside, which I don't know if you can see. This is that little hash mark there, and which is the top of the number. So the numbers kind of look like this. If we're on the 40-yard line, looks like this, so that people can see it. So that would be the top of the number, and this would be what we call the bottom. So you really want to be on the numbers to potentially the bottom of the numbers with your landmark. So I mean, I think you're good right here. Initial alignment obviously should be a little bit wider because you're to trips. So you're good in terms of your landmark. You're on the numbers, leaving some space to the sideline in case we want to throw you the ball. We can leave it on the back porch, what we call it. Here's where the problem is. So number 2, you need to get in here, right, and up that hash mark. Number 3, also an issue. You need to get under this guy and over this guy. Yes, he knows it's a pass. He knows that he's trying to wall you off. So what I like to say is, yeah, you can take like 3 yards, 3 steps vertically, but then you need to get your butt over here to the opposite hash. You make the mistake now, and then you make the mistake later on also when it really counts. Your landmark, there's nobody else over here. We already have 2 guys on this side for 4 landmarks, which means my landmark is all the way over here. All right? And then obviously if this guy is by himself, he's got the numbers on this side. All right. Now, the only adjustment that we've made is we have tagged this with stop, which means outside guys are stopping at 5 yards. Nothing else changes. You 2 guys should be doing the same thing, clearing out the inside for us. Let's look at what happens. I know I like the ball, the timing of it. So catch, step, throw. That's awesome right there. That's great timing. Catch, step, throw. There it is. Catch, step, throw. Good. Ball's out. Ball's caught. We get 5, 6, maybe 7 yards. Don't do that. Turn and get upfield. Break a tackle. Hold on. Gotta see this again. Okay, so this is an issue. This is an issue. I know you're trying to get there and it's quick. Oh, you're trying to get there. Okay, I take it back. You're in good. You're fine. You're good. You're good there. You're good here. We're good over here. So I take it back. You're fine. You guys are fine on that. That's good alignment, good spacing. Those routes are good. Later on, though, it's not so good. All right. Go slant. I'm holding the ball too long. So this is deuce, I think. What's going on the right side here? Whoever this is, you need to be on the line, dude. You're always on the line. X's and Y's, you're always on the line. So whoever this is, you're always on. Doesn't matter if you're in the slot. Unless we zip or snap, you're on the line. You're on the line. So you should be on. This is a penalty. It's an illegal formation. Secondly, whoever this is, I think it's Steve, this is that little hash thing, which means it's the bottom of the numbers. You should be a little bit wider to give yourself more space to run your slant so that you can catch it before you get to the hash mark and turn upfield. This is good spacing over here. I like this. Ronnie, I'm going to bust you out in front of everybody. I asked you afterwards if you attack this guy's inside shoulder. Let's watch what you do. Everybody watch Ronnie. Oops, sorry. Everybody watch Ron. Oh, you lied to me, dude. And watch what happens. Because you go outside, you turn this guy's eyes to the slant, and now he can make a play. I know he doesn't, but he could. So, inside guys on go slant. Attack leverage, get through his inside shoulder. Attack leverage, get through his inside shoulder. I don't care if you come off your landmark a little bit. We're not throwing you the ball anyway. All right, you could be on the inside of the hash. I don't care. Your job is to run through this guy's inside shoulder to make him wall you off and occupy him so that we can throw the slant. You're being a good teammate right now. We are throwing a slant. 1 step, get in here. Maximum depth of 5 yards. You should catch the ball before you get upfield. Don't catch it and come in here and get killed. You're going to get killed in a game if you do this, okay? Catch the ball and get upfield. Let's take another look. How are we doing on the other side? Again, can't do that. Got to go inside. Slant is average, okay? Don't run across the field like that. Lastly, quarterback. Catch, step, throw. Ball should be out. We hitch a little bit there, okay? I don't know if you can see it. Catch, step, throw. That extra little hitch there is a little bit late. If we throw it on time, he catches it here and is able to turn up into the tunnel instead of having to come what he thinks is underneath. Is it a completion and a good play? Yes. Okay, this is also Seminole. Looks like Seminole right again. Nope, Seminole left. I'm wrong. I'm not really sure what's going on out here. You have, all right, he's lined up inside, right? So you should be having the comeback. You should be, let's see what happens. Okay, he does a good job of getting a piece of you. So what I would say is, again, you know where you're going. He doesn't. Maybe I would take a stutter step inside to get him to kind of, false step or whatever. And then, so like jab at him and then continue upfield. But I cannot get jammed like this. That can't happen. All right, I need to do whatever I can to get rid of that guy. And then you're thinking, I'm running a vertical to 12 and then coming back to 10, so that when you get to 10, he thinks you're running vertical. He's got to turn his hips and run. And then we can break back. Drag should be coming through. Let's see. Sorry, I got to delete all this stuff now. All right, let's take a look. Oh, I'm sorry, drag's coming from the other side. This is actually not bad, whoever this guy is. It's okay. It's not a super precise route, and it doesn't have to be. All you're really doing is kind of searching for space. So that's actually not bad. Not bad, not bad. You need to be concerned a little bit with this guy here, though. I mean, I think this is actually not a bad throw because he's trying to get you to sit down in here. He doesn't want to throw you into this guy. So just be aware of that. Let's see the drag. Okay, no, I don't want this upfield stuff. Your first step should be inside. You're not going upfield at all. You're coming inside and underneath and getting spit out at the opposite hash at 4 yards. So you're coming straight across. That allows you to get collisioned. And then what's going on the outside? Whoops. What's going on the outside? Post. Oh, we're wrong over here too. We're wrong over here too. Wait. No, this guy's got the post. You're right. You're right. That's good. My mistake. Totally wrong. This is actually really good. So let me back it up. My first thought is throw this comeback. I think it's there. I think it's there. Good job driving and getting off. Okay, so you're trying to run a post. See, I told you, post is probably screwed in man coverage. That's okay. So I'm thinking, and it's not a bad. We'd like to have a completion there, but comeback, yeah, it's probably good if I throw it on time. Come back to drag. The drag's not bad coming out the other side. Just initially, I should be gaining depth as I get across. I should not go upfield first and then come straight across. If you go up and across, you're going to get hit. If you come underneath, you're less likely to get hit. And if you do get hit, you just opened up the dig for your teammate. So that's that. Sorry about that. Needed a minute to make things right at home here. Sorry. Okay, so let's see what we got next. I just looked at the screen and we're already at 33 minutes, you guys. So hopefully you're breaking this up into manageable chunks. Oh yeah, okay. This is the last play. This is not good. Not good. This is regular go. Regular go out of trips. Okay, so I already talked to you about landmarks. I should have number 1 solo up the numbers, outside numbers. Number 2, the S should be on the near hash. Number 3, the Z should be going to the far hash. Okay, can't do that. Now we have nobody to throw to. Okay, so simple. Let's get it fixed. Other than that, pretty productive. You can see these minor things. All right. If we want to win a state championship and we have the talent to do that, talent does not win you championships. Talent and effort and execution wins you championships. Okay, so let's take the talent that we have, put in the effort, and then execute, and we'll be in a really, really good position to accomplish goals that we want to accomplish. All right. Hopefully that was productive for you. I apologize it was so long. I didn't think it was going to be this long. Break it up into manageable chunks, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Get rest, eat, hydrate. South.